Welcome to my next 25 for 2025 vlog. These are the four books that I want to read in this vlog. So far, I have 12 books left on my list, and I want to make a dent here in October. So I've already started reading and can give you the first update because I have already finished the first half of Lover at Last. In German, it is Seelenprinz. This is the first half, and Sohn der Dunkelheit is the second half of Lover at Last. But so far, let's talk about the first half of the book. It is Quinn and Blaze story, and I've waited so long for it. It was the whole reason why I started the reread of 19 books in the first place, so I can finally read Quinn and Blaze story. And I'm now in the middle of it and super frustrated by it because, again, a lot of miscommunication, a really popular trope in the series, and I hate it. Please just talk to each other. Don't miscommunicate. Just tell the other person the truth. But it is bearable at this point. I'm not completely annoyed by it. I can understand why they do it, why they try to protect themselves and don't want to risk to get hurt again and in that process hurt each other again and again. But my hopes are high that this will change soon, that they will open up and try for real and not just have make-up sex. That doesn't work. We saw this in the first half, but there is so much going on beside this main romance. Oh my god. We have new POVs, we have the Lesser, we have Xor and his team, we have a Sale, the drug dealer, we have the Black Daggers, and we have this main side plot of Lila and Quinn that is so sad and devastating. Normally, this book would need a trigger warning for it because, spoiler, this deals with child loss. And I know some people can't deal with it, which is the reason why I tell you this. It can be super hard to read about it. I'm not triggered by it, but it makes me super sad. And I really feel sorry for these characters. I don't know how J. Award will fix this, or if she will fix this. I mean, I don't trust her. She killed someone important before. So we will see how this goes, how this side plot continues, how the side plot of Tress continues, which is also super intriguing. I want to learn more. Hopefully, he will be one of the future main characters. I haven't looked it up yet, but my hopes are high. I'm also intrigued by Sola and Assail, two of these side characters that could get important. And I'm intrigued by what Xor and his team and the Lesser will do next. I know they are the bad guys and I don't really like them, but they are important for the stories. And we have some big threats here for the Black Dagger in general. So there is a lot of action. There will be a lot of action in the future. And I just hope J. Award won't kill one of our beloved characters again. We will see about that. And I will continue now with the second half of Lover at Last. And I finished Lover at Last Part 2 really late last night. I think I stayed up until 4 a.m. before I went to bed. I have a few vacation days right now, so it's okay. I don't have to work. And I really, really wanted to finish this book because it got really, really annoying. There was so much miscommunication between the main characters, so between Quinn and Blay, and I was so annoyed and frustrated by it that I really wanted the story to be over, to get to the happy end, and I got there finally and was not satisfied by it because the happy end part was so short. I think from the moment the miscommunication ended, they talked openly to we are happy and have our happy end. I think we had 20 pages from over 800, and that's not enough for me. Not after such a long time with these conflicts between them, because these conflicts existed not only over these 800 pages, but I think over the last 4 books before that. So, in my opinion, they really earned more than these 20 pages, and they didn't get that, which was disappointing. But I really, really liked all these side plots. Yes, it gets really complicated at this point with the lessers, with Asael, and with Xor and his team, because they have their own story and business going on, and that is getting more complicated and intertwined with each chapter of their POV. But I really, really like this. I really liked that we got new POVs here in this book, and that we had some new romance story teased here and introduced. I'm really happy with that. I'm intrigued by it. With Asael and Sola, with Tress and Selena. Let's forget about Xor and Lila because I don't like this romance. And my guess is we get Tress and Selena next. But I don't know. I haven't looked it up yet. And I won't look it up because I want to be surprised. And you will see it in my next 25 for 2025 video. Because then I will read the next 2 German books. So the next English book, and with that continue the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. But before I do that, we've only started this video, so let's continue with the next book. And I have a halftime update for you for Night Road by Kristen Hanna. I've just read the synopsis before starting this clip, and yeah, that would have prepared me for what came up in the first half of this story. I had a feeling about it really early reading the book, and sadly, I was right with it. Some of the important characters here dies. It is Mia, the best friend of Lexi, one of the main characters. We have the POV of Lexi, and we have the POV of Jude. Jude is the mother of Mia and her twin brother Zach. So we get a lot of teenage life here, but also the parent POV, the fears of a parent, the urge to protect the own children, and that you can't do this always. There is a lot of build up to the point where we lose Mia, where she dies in a car accident. And oh boy, after this point, I've cried so much already, and I really fear for Lexi here because she drove the car. They were all drunk when the car accident happened, and she not only lost her best friend, she also lost now her boyfriend, her second family, and it is all super, super cruel and sad and awful. And it's breaking my heart again and again. Not only Lexi's POV, but also Jude's POV, because losing a child is super, super hard, especially when this child has a twin brother that was also involved in the accident. He thinks it's his fault that his sister died. He's also grieving. He needs his parents, but they are also grieving. It is complicated. It is heartbreaking. I already sobbed a few times, and I will be in the future. I'm sure of that when I read the second half of this book. I'm not really sure if the whole teenager behavior here was portrayed in a good way. I just can't speak for myself here. A lot of it felt unrealistic and problematic. I know teenage life can be like that, and you feel forced to do certain things, but I didn't like how it was portrayed here in the book, especially talking about the first time having sex and what led to this decision. I really hated it, and it felt wrong for me personally. I mean, it can be that you felt totally different reading something like that. Opinions are different, and I wasn't a party girl in my teenage life. I am not now, and maybe I just can't relate with it. I don't know. But I will continue reading. I will continue get my heart broken, and I will speak to you after I finished the book. And I finished Night Road now and really, really liked this book. Not laughed, but let me explain. I cried a lot reading this story. It really broke my heart. I already told you that after the first half of this book, and it didn't got better for a few chapters after that, because I think I've cried every chapter for at least the next 5 chapters after the conflicts and all the emotions going on, because this conflict was so big, and I could understand both sides of this conflict. So Jude's POV and Lexi's POV. I can't even say that one side is right and one is not. They are both right, and they both need time to process everything after the death of Mia, and especially after Lexi learns that she is pregnant and that she needs to give her baby away because she needs to stay in prison, and you can't keep children in there. So it was super heartbreaking, as I said, and it only continued to break my heart after Lexi could leave prison and start a new life, start over. But I really wished Zach would have had a more active part, would have taken a side in this conflict, and would have invested more, because most of the time he is just there. He barely says anything to this conflict and just let everything go, which was a bit disappointing to me. And I wished this book would have been at least 150 to 200 pages longer. Yes, it has already 500 pages, but there were so much situation where I wished there would have been more depth, and the thought processes, the feelings, the discussions were more detailed, especially in the end of this book, because everything was more like a switch going from off to on or from on to off. I don't know. But suddenly everything made sense, everything was good, and they could overcome these conflicts. I don't know about that. It wasn't my favorite kind of end, even if I liked how it ended. I see a lot of people talking about Kristen Hanna, but not talking about Night Road, and instead talking about other books by her, for example, The Nightingale. So maybe I should try that because I really liked the storytelling here and the emotions, as I said before. I was a really, really big fan of that. So maybe I should read more by Kristen Hanna. But before I do that, I will continue now the Renegades trilogy by Marissa Meyer, the last book for the vlog. In English, this is called Archenemies, and I will put the German copy to the side because I am reading the English copy of this book. Honestly, I tried the German version here and closed the book on page 2 of chapter 1 when I needed to learn that they translated the superhero names to German, and they were super, super cringe. I couldn't live with that. I closed the book. I bought the English ebook and continued with that. And I'm really happy with my decision. But I'm not liking book 2 as much as book 1 because I'm really missing character development here, especially from Nova. We are starting book 2, getting back right into action, and I really loved this. These stakes were high, but after that, it is more about moral conflict and relationship development, which is all good. Don't get me wrong, I really like these parts, but I'm now halfway through Arc Enemies, and at this point, I'm really, really craving character development because Nova is still really, really going strong on her mission to sabotage the renegades from the inside, to work for the anarchists and bring them information. And please, Nova, start to question what you're doing there. Don't trust the anarchists without questioning them, because yes, they are using you, and yes, they are your family. I know that. But I really wish she would have questioned what she is doing and at least start to hesitate at some point. But so far, that is not happening. But at least she's really questioning the renegades and what they are doing, especially with Agent N. And I'm really happy that she's at least doing that because a lot of other people are celebrating and are just okay with what the council is doing there. And there was a sentence somewhere in the book that it is better to start questioning authority before they get too powerful, because when they have all the power, it is too late because you can't intervene anymore. And that is what's happening at the moment. And I really want to get more in depth with that. But it is complicated to do that because everyone believes in the renegades. They are super idolized, and nobody wants to question that because it is easier to follow their lead. to see the renegades themselves as better. And we will see if this will change throughout the second half of the book, because I will tell you after I finished Archenemies. I finished Supernova now, a little bit late for this vlog to go online on time, but that's okay. I finished it now today, and I can say I liked book 2, but not as much as book 1. It was really, really slow paced, not much progress of the general plot, and more concentrated on the moral conflicts that Nova and Adrian have, which is completely okay. This is valid. And I really, really liked the big finale of book 1. The whole fighting, the 2 places where we had to go, the emotions. I loved everything about it. The tension was high, so I was really, really intrigued and wanted to read more. I was really, really invested. And the end of book 2 was super fitting to the story, don't get me wrong, but I've expected a little bit of a different ending, and that we had at this point all of the secrets revealed, the hidden identities, so that we can focus in book 3 to find a solution for everything. But that's not the case. And Nova is still really, really invested on her task to get the renegades down, especially now with what happened on the end of book 2. And I understand her, but it's not what I expected this end to be and what I would wanted for this end, because I'm missing a lot of character development here. We haven't much progress of the general plot and characters when we look to the end of book 1 and now, which is my biggest problem with the book. The book itself was good, but I'm missing the development. But I'm still intrigued to read Supernova, the final book in this trilogy. And I will do this next month with the next 25 for 2025 vlog, because I am done for this month with my 25 for 2025 books. I had 12 books left. I have read 4 of them now, which means I have now 8 books left to go for the next 2 months to finish my list by the end of the year. So, wish me luck. Tell me in the comments if you have read any of these books and how did you like them. Like this video if you wanna, follow my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!